in a world crying out for a top 10 show. John Rocha and Matt Knost are here to bring you the top 10. Take it away, boys. Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode of The Top 10 Show. I am John Rocha.
I am Matt Knost. Hopefully that leaf blower in the background does not come through on the audio. I don't think it will.
No, we talk so directly into the mic, it's rare that we pick up loud, extraneous noises.
It doesn't pick up ambient room noise or anything else in the background. These are quality mics for quality listeners.
That's
right.
Oh, nice. Good job. Good plug for the listeners.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We're doing this from Matt's new place here. It's full of incredible views of the city and vegetation and nature. It's pretty awesome.
And a dumpster out front that was
I can't see that from here.
Unannounced upon its arrival this morning.
It was unannounced.
Whose fucking dumpster is this? You're blocking my driveway. Whose dumpster is this? Have you ever walked into that situation? Because I haven't. Just
welcome to Los Angeles, man.
Suddenly that, and then our, lawn, the green trash can.
Yeah.
The mulching one, the compost, the whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
We have two of them. One of them was missing. So there's a fucking...
Just randomly missing.
It showed back up. The guys that are cleaning took it and were using it to clean out the brush and everything from that other house.
Gotcha.
Which is overgrown. I went up there once to look at it since we've been here. And the dude was having an open house because they just sold it. And it hadn't been touched in a long time. It was thick and lush, but at the same time, had not been trimmed back in probably 4, 5, 6 years.
Right.
It was thick as shit.
They're bringing it all down now.
Yeah. We did that here, too. So that backyard that you saw, there's 3 or 4 different invasive species of ivy up here. So you got regular ivy, what you think, like English ivy or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. But then there's, I think it's morning glory, and there's another one, so these flowering ones that look really pretty. But that slope in the backyard was all covered in vines. So we didn't know that it went back that far.
Wow.
And we paid a dude, and he brought like 2 other guys with him, and they cleaned it. It took them 2 straight days to clean out that and then down below.
Jesus.
Because it hadn't been trimmed back in who the fuck knows how long.
Were they using trimmers or chainsaws, or were they
no chainsaws,
scissors?
Just trimmers and hand trimmers.
Okay. All right.
A ton of plastic bags because you got to take it down the hill.
Imagine, yeah.
Just a shitload of.
So they didn't bring in a dumpster; they took it in plastic bags.
They had their truck to fill, so they filled their truck, and then we put them in plastic bags and slowly just could put 2 out a week, and then so we got that old truck, and I filled up the back bed on 2 straight weeks and just drove down to anybody that had a green one, and I cut the bag open and I dumped it in theirs. If it wasn't full all the way, and it's the same thing, and I take the bag, put it in the regular trash.
Right.
Whatever. It doesn't make any fucking difference. Of course.
It's all going to the same place.
But I did do it at, midnight, driving around, and if a car pulled past, I acted cool like anybody would fucking care.
Right.
Like I'm doing like a teenager again,
Sup.
Dude, just trying to recycle. That's all I'm doing.
Bringing it back to nature, man.
Yeah, 2 straight weeks. It was 24, 25 bags.
Yeah.
Of shit.
Well, I mean, it's we're doing this time. I'm sorry we're not on camera again this week, but we're kind of transitioning with the show again, trying to find a new home now that we're done dealing with Collider, and there may be some announcements soon. We'll see, but we're negotiating some stuff right now. But for now, we're going to be recording in each other's places until we find a permanent place to be back on camera with the Top 10 show. But the audio never ends. The audio is still going. We're still doing that for sure.
Churning it out, yes.
Yeah, churning it out.
It hopefully is just a short duration, and we can get right back to all systems go.
Yeah,
like we were beforehand. And you guys, we'll be back to normal. You'll be seeing us on camera in the very near future.
Yeah,
we've got a few different options. So it's just a matter now of scheduling to meet people.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll probably take a couple weeks to bang out all the hey, are you free Tuesday? Let's all meet up Tuesday type of thing to talk.
Let's all square it away.
Yeah, but it'll happen in the next couple weeks. So. Please be on the lookout for that. We are working towards that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to see us live, you can come to King's Place on May 2nd at 8 p.m. Tickets are £30. Come on out, guys. It's a 400-seater. We sold out the 200 last week with like 5 to 6 weeks before the show itself. So they're like, you want to go to the big boy house? And we're like, you know what? I don't want to play in the sandbox anymore. I'm ready to go to the beach.
That's right.
And we're going to be building our sandcastles there, guys. So come kick those down with us. It's going to be fantastic. kingsplace.co.uk. Pick up the tickets there. 30 pounds. Doors open at 7, shows at 8. We're going to go extra long, throw in a little extra at the end for you guys.
Yeah.
And it should be a hell of a good time.
Little Q&A possibly at the end there where you guys yelling up questions, and Matt and I are put on the spot by your inappropriate and funny questions. So I'm looking forward to it. Certainly had fun last year. And it was kind of where we found our groove as a live show. And so why not go back and have an even better time in front of more people?
Well, I thought we were good in L.A.
In L.A.? Yeah.
You weren't comfortable?
I wasn't happy with how I did. That's what I would say. Okay. And I think in the second show, I felt way more comfortable in London doing the show. So, yeah. So
I have not gone back to listen, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah.
Just move forward.
Yeah, I know you do. Anyway, so this week we're going to talk about Jim Carrey. He's got a new film coming out called Sonic the Hedgehog, which at this moment of our taping, I'm trying to go see maybe. I'm debating whether I'm going to go see it because I got a screening on Saturday. It'll be at the El Capitan, so all the kids are going to be there. So I'm considering it right now. I've 100% said yes, but I'm considering it.
Yeah, but the kids wouldn't get to go to the screener.
Yeah, a lot of people bring their kids. A lot of the critics bring their
kids. I thought you were saying it's just going to be like a preponderance of kids. And it sounds like worst case is 30% of the crowd could be kids.
That's true. 30% of the crowd could be kids. Yeah, absolutely. I guess you're right.
And it's a type of movie where if they talk and they enjoy themselves, who gives a shit? Because
the thing is, I don't know anything about Sonic the Hedgehog. Do you know anything about Sonic the Hedgehog?
As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing to know.
It's a video game, right?
Well, it's not even that. It was Sega, so I could give two shits because I didn't play Sega.
Oh, wow.
So I have no attachment. Sonic was kind of cool, but I never liked playing it because I hated the controller. I was just used to Nintendo's versions.
Those are deep cuts you got there going on. Sega versus Nintendo. That war is still deep within you.
No, I just have no working knowledge of other than going to my friend Jeremy's house because he had a Sega, and he was my only friend that didn't have a Nintendo.
Wow.
So we'd play Sega at his house, and I just wasn't good at the games because nobody fucking owns a Sega. I certainly don't. Sonic was the only one that I ever played more than 10 times type of thing. We always played Sonic. And then after that, I couldn't even tell you what their titles were.
Well, that's why I like the PlayStation controller better than the Xbox controller.
Oh, yeah. I don't like Xboxes.
It's too bulky, man. I don't get why people love the Xbox controller so much. It drives me nuts. When they come out with a PlayStation that plays 4K movies without it being a separate thing that you have to buy, I will switch back over. Because that's the frustrating part about it is that PlayStation 4 does. So I didn't jump up to the Pro. I went to the Xbox X because it has 4K video capability.
Okay.
But it's frustrating because I just do not like that controller. So I don't play it as much as I played PlayStation. Because PlayStation, man, I was addicted to playing PlayStation, man.
Yeah, I don't own a console. So I never played.
It's not your jam.
I owned them all throughout my life until I got to college, and then all my roommates did.
Right.
So I would play theirs, and then once I got on my own, I just never bought another console. I played every once and again. I had a roommate at one point in L.A., and he had an Xbox, or not an Xbox, probably a PlayStation. I think it was a PlayStation 2 or something.
Yeah.
And I went out and bought a bunch of titles on my own because we lived together for 2 years.
Right.
So I played all the Uncharteds, the God of War.
Oh, yeah.
A Star Wars one. Where you're a Sith, and you throw your lightsaber and shit.
Oh, Unleashed.
Yes.
Star Wars, yeah, Force Unleashed.
That was all right. That was pretty good.
That was actually pretty damn good.
And just picked up random titles, and then we played a bunch of sports games together.
Right.
But I haven't played a new one probably in 6 years.
Wow.
I haven't played a game in 6 years.
Okay.
I want to play the new Uncharted. I heard the God of War is good.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that one, too. I just bought the Red Dead Redemption. I'm going to try that one out for a little bit.
The second? The Deuce?
The second one, yeah, the second one.
I played the first one. I haven't played the second.
Yeah, I used to get the sports games every year. That was my addiction. FIFA, NHL.
NHL I loved.
NHL's great.
I loved NHL.
Right?
Basketball I hated.
Yeah, they never could get it right.
It's the worst. Just when sometimes you go in and you're like, layup? This dude only dunks. He literally only has one skill is dunk, layup. It drives you fucking nuts.
Yeah.
There's just no way to accurately do it.
Right.
And Madden, I can play other people that play my level, but anyone that plays all the time.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't know the coverages. I just don't know where they're at.
Right.
So I'm hunting for,
hey,
I want to run a nickel.
Clock.
Yeah, and they're always like, bing, 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 go. And then they've got audibles and all that shit. And just like, I would too, but I don't play this.
Right.
So I don't even know what the presets are.
Right.
So you're at a disadvantage. When you play somebody else that never plays all that much,
yeah,
I can hang.
Yeah.
I know general defenses of, in this situation let me find a 4-3 or a 3-4, or I run a dime or nickel, or depending on the outcome but that I'm searching for. But at the same time, it's just like the fact that I've watched YouTube clips of dudes that are just so crazy skilled at it. I don't know how many hours you had to put in to get to that. It's impressive, but at the same time, that's a hell of a hobby.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you got to figure out all the little things you can do. It's a lot of hours.
It's a shit ton.
I don't have those hours.
And to have it on muscle memory where you don't have to think about it, where you're like, I need to audible to a play action because they're going to bite on the run.
It's instinctive.
It is. Yeah. You just you see the coverage and you see what they're showing and you can switch to it. I've got friends that play enough to where, totally. We can't play because you're gonna beat me pretty much 90% of the time because I'm not gonna have the perfect call for your coverage.
Yeah, it's madness.
It is. But so Sonic, I mean, I hope it's good, just like everybody else. The redo of the character is much improved.
Yes.
It was scary before, and now it looks like what it kind of should.
Exactly.
So that's cool.
Sometimes you can go a little too far and trying to make something real, and you're like, I don't know what you were thinking. I don't know who was in the internal conversation. It's like, no, this looks great. This looks great. Then again, I mean, what are you going to tell the director? Like, no? Like, if you're a designer person, I guess it's tough to say no to the director.
Well, I don't know who directed it. So,
good question. Who is the director? It's a young guy. I know that much.
But do they have like a history in animation? So maybe you don't question him there and be like, he knows the style and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That's a good point, man.
Or maybe they've done a few other things that were lesser titles, but they did well enough at the box office, to give them a shot on this.
Let me see. It is a guy named Jeff Fowler. He has done 3 things. Something called Go for Broke, which was a short, and then Sonic the Hedgehog and The Goon, which is I think it's a...
Was that the Sean William Scott? Or that's just Goon, isn't it?
No, that's just Goon. I think The Goon is an animated one. Yeah, it's a comic about a hulking orphan raised by his aunt, a strong woman, for a carnival. When a gangster guns down the aunt, the Goon kills the gangster and takes over the operation. Oh, shit. I think it's a comic book series. But yeah, he hasn't done much, man. He hasn't done much at all. He worked in the animation department for something called Rockfish and A Gentleman's Deal, but that's it. So he's not that well known, Jeff Fowler. Did the visual effects for Where the Wild Things Are.
Okay.
He was nominated for an Oscar for animated short. So there you go. Not much. Anyway, so we'll see what happens with that film. Certainly, I don't think people have too high expectations, but we'll see in the long run. Either way, we're here to count down the top 10 Jim Carrey films.
Correct.
Yeah.
So once we set a topic, we go our individual ways and create personal top 10. Let's show back up here. I do my bottom 3. He does his bottom 3. I do my next 2. He does his next 2. Then we trade 1 apiece. Once we have revealed our personal top 10 list, we create the shows between the 2 of us.
Boom.
All right. So I'll just jump right in.
Yeah.
At number 10, I've got Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, that didn't make my list. I found that I just don't enjoy it as much as I used to.
Okay.
So feel free. No, please.
Well, there were 11, and there's one that's probably going to make your list, but I never go back to rewatch it.
Okay.
It may be, by consensus, it's a good movie, but I didn't dislike it when it came out.
Yeah.
But it just never resonated with me at all, and I was happy to go back to everything else he was doing.
Okay.
So Bruce Almighty was if I'm going to be honest, it's enjoyable. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's him getting to, he gets the powers to do whatever he wants to from Morgan Freeman, who is God.
Right.
And it's got some great little scenes when he pulls out that file cabinet.
Yeah.
And he's, questioning whether or not this is some omniscient being. And it just goes on forever. And his abuse of the power early on.
Yes.
It's very relatable. Mm-hmm. But it's enough to where the adults can enjoy it, but you can get kids as well. Like when the dude gets his head stuck up his keister.
Right.
There's for adults, they're like, okay, type of thing. The kids will love it. But then there are other ones where he's having the moral discussion of what it is. That's going to resonate more for adults. And him messing with Steve Carell.
Yes.
That's an awesome little scene.
It's fantastic.
Steve Carell it's amazing. Yeah. How believable that is. And then he just gets flustered and then tries to start talking again. Oh, it's absolutely fantastic.
It's genius stuff. I mean, who knew he was going to break out from that? I mean, because Carrey is the lead in that movie, not Steve Carell. And here's Carell still building his name, you know what I'm saying? And then right, a little bit after that movie, he is off leading films himself. And
that
The Office,
I
think
he steals that one little scene without even trying.
Oh, really? He does. It's incredible. Yeah.
He manages to do that all the time. You know.
Well, there's that scene where he's like typing into everything, and it's certainly a good story with a good message. The idea of like, well, you know, being God for a day isn't easy, but there's other stuff you need. There's other stuff you need to work on for yourself,
yeah,
and for her, like for Jennifer Aniston's character, like he's got to work some stuff out and confront some stuff, and then come out, you know, the other side of it. So I like that for sure.
And it's quality. And I never saw the sequel.
Oh God,
with Carell because everybody said it was just dog shit.
It was.
You know what? I actually kind of like the first one.
Yeah.
It's got a nice heart to it. You know, he ends up at Niagara Falls and he's disgruntled the first time, and the second time he's content.
Yeah.
He's happy and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with doing this.
He's learned his lesson.
Yeah, yes.
It wasn't a bad guy. He was just a guy that just wasn't happy with what was going on in his world, and he wasn't valuing the things that he had. And being God kind of made him see what was happening, you know?
It's somewhat akin to like It's a Wonderful Life, and that what would your life be like if you were dead? Well, this one is if you had all the powers, you could do whatever you wanted to.
Right.
Be like, you know what, the grass isn't actually greener.
Yeah.
I long for a lot of what all that I had before, and see the flaws of the individual.
Yeah.
Just like George
Bailey.
Bailey.
Yeah, there you go.
I might have been able to pull it eventually.
Yeah.
So
what's your number 9?
Number 9 is The Mask.
That might be a punt. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
And 8 is Liar Liar.
That's my number 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. A lot of people have this much higher.
I like this. Oh well, I couldn't put it much higher because they're just better films above it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This one is great. This is kind of one of these through that '90s run of his that people don't. Well, maybe they do if you say they put it higher. Because I always feel like it's the one that gets lost when people talk about his best stuff from the '90s.
Well, it's not it's the first time to some degree that he managed to marry the obscene silliness of what he does in a real grounded story.
Yeah.
Now it's granted it's someone a spell has been cast on him and he can't lie for 24 hours.
Right.
So it sets it up in ridiculous narrative, but you're still existing within the rest of the world is real.
Right.
Whereas in other movies it's just there's no need for this individual to be doing this other than it's entertaining to watch.
Right.
Whereas his is like, I can't lie. In the end when he's like, when you were parking, he just can't get away from saying exactly what happened, and then the light bulb goes off and he realizes the devious nature in that moment of not being able to lie. Like you're ruining a life, this little kid's life, because it's going to end up with the mom who doesn't care about it. She just wants the alimony.
Right.
It's brutal.
Well, stuff like all this, and you realize like all the stuff he's been doing throughout his life, just to have an existence, has been just all full of lies. You know, everything in his job, everything with his secretary, everything as a lawyer. You know, it was that convention of a lawyer, blah blah blah. But yeah, you're right. It grounds it in a real human story about. Because he does love his kid.
Without a doubt.
He's just been so caught up with trying to live this life of his that he has sacrificed the emotions of his child and didn't realize how much he was damaging his child till finally he leaves. And ironically, it's because he's trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And it puts him behind. And for the first time in the whole movie where he can't meet up his kid, it's because he's trying to do the right thing. And so it's great how it all kind of plays out. Maura Tierney's good in the movie too, and Carrey Elwes is a nice little villain.
The kid, he's a good actor, plays his son.
Yeah.
And which Tilly is it? Is it Jennifer?
Jennifer, yeah, right. Oh my God, she's brutal in this movie.
With that blonde hair, looks so bleached.
Yeah, and he feels so guilty trying to help her, like get the kids at the end there because he realizes how much she doesn't care about the kids.
Yeah, he turns to the judge and he's like, "Yeah, but it was I duped you on a technicality."
Yeah, he's like, "Well,
contempt of court."
Yeah,
it's good. It's just one that at the time I saw it and I was like, "Okay, I enjoyed it."
Right.
Because it was built up. I remember the reviews leading up to it and be like, this is his best so far.
Right.
And I could see why some people would say that, because if the abstract of what he was doing before doesn't resonate with you, this is more palatable. It makes more sense than the absurdity.
When he's beating himself up in the bathroom, it's funny stuff. And and the even the end credits when they've got those like not deleted scenes, but like like outtakes, and the one with Swoozie calling him a overactor. Oh my God, that was genius. Just
it was. It's just him dying.
Yeah,
dying. Just
jazz up, Al. Just laughing. It was brilliant. I loved it. Okay.
So what do you got?
So my number 10 there is The Cable Guy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
For some reason, it got its hook in me when I watched it the first time. And I think it's one of these subversive movies about our culture that I think finds an audience for people who want to appreciate what Stiller was trying to do with the movie. And I totally get when it doesn't resonate with other people. Totally get it. But for me, it did. Like, because it's kind of like the Menendez brothers in reverse with the court case they're watching, right? But then you've got Jim Carrey like being this, essentially this friendless person, or not, but this difficult person to be friends with. And he's using,
to say the least.
Yeah, and he's using his power as a cable guy to kind of generate a friendship with Matthew Broderick. And then gets into all these situations just trying to find connection with him because he actually respects Matthew Broderick and wants his friendship, but he doesn't really have the skills to be able to create it and maintain it. And it's through this insane journey between the two of them that eventually he does find it. But it's a dark comedy, to say the least. But that scene in the medieval times is hilarious for me on so many levels.
Well, any Star Trek fan.
Yes,
sees
true.
that it's going to have an original run TV show Star Trek fan.
Yeah.
It's going to have a much more of an impact.
Yeah.
I have thought about rewatching it for the show and I was like, I just don't want to. I just don't. It's not. I've got 11 to choose from without that. So I'm perfectly fine with leaving it off.
Yeah. Cable guy. All this kind of stuff he does. And then, of course, messing with that whole family. Everything. It's just because also Matthew Broderick is a bit of a stick in the mud. And he is. Which is ironic because this is Ferris Bueller, for God's sake.
They're both not likable.
Yeah, right. Good point. Yeah,
we got to sit with them for 90 minutes.
Yeah, as they figure it out.
Kind of siding with Matthew Broderick, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So then my number 9 is... sorry about that. My number 9 is Me, Myself, and Irene.
Oh, shit.
You didn't put that on there?
No, I missed that rolling through the IMDb.
Okay.
Are
you gonna adjust
that
your
definitely
list?
knocks off Bruce Almighty. What number is that for you?
My number 9.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about it, but I would call that a punt for me.
Okay, let's make it a punt then if you want to put it somewhere else. So then my number 8 is Yes Man.
Okay.
Not on your list?
Not on my list.
Oh, I love this movie, man. It's Peyton Reed, who did the Ant-Man movies, Zooey Deschanel, Jim Carrey. This is a very, very sweet film. And I think it's one of these ones where it's more about the humanity of the story than it is about Carrey's comedy. It's this reverse of kind of Liar Liar, which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper's in this thing. One of the Danny Masterson is in this thing. But he's a guy who's like unhappy with his life, unhappy with his job, meets this girl, and then sees this philosophy that says, like, you got to say yes to everything. The guy, I forget the 3-word guy, a 3-name guy who's always on Higgins, Michael something Higgins. He convinces him to go to this seminar that Terrence Stamp is doing about saying yes to everything. And he kind of takes it and he goes too far with it and he just says yes to everything.
Yeah.
But it opens the door to so many other experiences that he normally wouldn't have had. But it does catch up with him later because then people are like, well, did you authentically want to do this with me or not? So he has to find out where the middle ground is. Mm-hmm. And especially this with his relationship with Zooey Deschanel, who is absolutely cute as a button in this movie, and their chemistry actually really works. I know people go like May, December type shit, but their chemistry really works in this movie. It's sweet, it's tender, and the ending is actually believable, which I enjoyed for something like this. So, and I think he's great. He's a really warm comedian in this movie.
That's the only one that I missed.
Okay.
I just went back through, and I'm like, okay, it was right next to...
Oh, for Me, Myself, and Irene?
Yeah.
Yeah, right on.
It was right next to another one, and I must have just glossed right over it. So that was your 8?
That was my Yes Man.
So technically now my number 8 would have been I Love You, Philip Morris.
Oh, okay.
With him and Ewan McGregor.
Knock yourself out.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's not my jam.
You didn't like it?
Nope.
It's
a dark comedy that just didn't do it for me. Like, Thank You for Smoking I liked, but this one I did not.
It's a guy that just won't get out of his own way, and he's really good at it, supposedly based on a true story.
Yeah.
So much so that at the end, eventually, Bush has to intercede as governor of Texas at the time, because that's where it's based. You only see that on a title scroll type of thing.
Right.
But yeah, it's a con man who managed to just keep conning his way up and up and up. It's pretty impressive. I don't know how much is based on a true story, so that's the other thing.
Right.
But it's a really tender between him and Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor, man, like I genuinely believe that character loved Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Like his portrayal of it, he looks broken at a couple different points in the midst of, it's a lighthearted comedy on some level.
Sure.
About a gay guy in Jim Carrey who had a family before and then eventually needs to realize, who he is and be honest with himself, and he moves off, but yet he's still lying to the world.
Right.
He just stopped lying about that aspect, and he just kind of spins it into, he does credit card fraud, and then he moves on from that, and he eventually embezzles a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
He escapes from prison numerous times through his own guile. It's really impressive. I don't know how many of those are true.
Yeah.
But over and over and over again, you want to not like him because of all the things he's doing.
Right.
But it's a little bit of, he doesn't seem so bad.
Yeah.
But it's probably for the best that he keeps going back to jail for society at large.
Yeah, right.
He's not hurting any person. He's not killing anyone, maiming.
Right.
Not peddling in narcotics or something like that. Just scamming credit card companies, then eventually a company.
Yeah.
Not the best, but anyway, the bond between the two of them was so genuinely believable to me.
Yeah.
That's what impressed me most.
Okay. I wanted to like it because it had gotten good reviews, but I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't connect to the heart of it, and it's rare for me not to do that with a Jim Carrey film. But for some reason, I just didn't hook into it the way I wanted to.
I don't think it ever goes for the huge emotional payoff at the end.
There we go. Yeah.
So its intent was not to hook you like that.
Right.
But I can understand wanting that because the slow build up, because it is about a love story between the two of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally a heart on the poster. They're making a heart on the poster. So yeah, I wanted to see.
But they go for slightly more the comedic ending. Not really, but. It's not like you ever laugh out loud at it, but it's not the emotional gut punch.
Yeah.
That it could be if you wanted to.
Okay.
So now my number 7 is Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events.
Oh, okay.
Because of I moved myself up to 6.
All right, Lemony Snicket's, go ahead.
You don't have?
No.
He's
great in it.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why he makes it on my list.
Okay, fair.
So effing high.
Okay.
Because how often do you see an actor have 100% understanding and grasp of what his character is?
Yes.
To every degree.
Yeah.
The one where he's on the steps and he comes down and he stops and he was like back to 1. That was him screwing up in character, and he goes back to 1. And they kept it in the movie because it fits the character so well. Because the whole time he's like, nope, back to 1. But he's such a failed, bad, big, overly dramatic actor.
Yes.
That the hamming it up, it was just his portrayal in it. And I like the movie overall.
Yeah.
It's a weird little world. I didn't enjoy the TV show just because I missed him so much in that role.
Right.
So it was always going to pale in comparison. So I just didn't get in.
MPH is nowhere near Jim Carrey.
No, I never got into it. Everybody said it was great. I tried 2 episodes and I was just out.
Yeah.
Just like, nah, he's not Jim Carrey to me because I didn't read the books.
Right.
And he was so indelible in that character to me with no, my pool of knowledge is that movie.
Yep.
But it's like, you got to top that.
Yeah.
Or go Joker style and set it in a different era or something.
Right.
Completely change and be like, okay, now I can take a newer interpretation. But if you're telling the exact same story all over again, now I can go, A to B, and I liked A.
I think the frustrating part for me in the movie is that everyone was so oblivious to how much of a jerk this guy was, how much of a manipulative jerk this guy was. So after a while, it just became kind of annoying to watch the movie. But he was great. It's just the movie overall just became annoying as fuck to keep watching. Because I was like, no one really can see how much of an idiot this guy is.
The kids can.
Right, the kids can, but no one else can see it. It's
a
just kind of
story between the two of them, so the kids strive. That's why it's kids' book.
Yeah.
The kids overcome without the help of adults.
Right.
Or maybe they help them in like key little small parts, but the kids overcome.
I mean, the different characters he becomes is just... It was his way of doing that Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence thing at a whole nother level.
Yeah, when they pick him up in the car, and it's just a completely different character. It's utterly different.
The boat captain is
the boat captain.
The beard and
over and over and over again. And the best part is, the character of, I can't remember the name.
Yeah,
because I think Lemony Snicket is the author of this story.
Yeah,
type of thing.
Count Olaf.
Yeah. Nice pull.
Yeah.
Olaf would love getting into these characters.
Yes,
just as much as Carrey does.
Yeah.
It's great. So for that, just because it is such a solid performance.
It is.
So that's my 7. My 6 now is Me, Myself, and Irene.
Okay, so that's the pun from earlier. All right, cool. I'm surprised you like this movie as much as high as number 6, because the jokes seem so obvious.
They do.
I know you're really critical of that sometimes in certain movies, but in this one, it works for you.
It does, maybe just because I love Jim Carrey so much.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I don't care.
You're biased about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
It just I have a fondness for his comedic presentation sometimes of the dumbest of things.
Oh yeah, man.
When the cow isn't dead, and it just that's great. That is great. You're going to get me every time with that. Only Jim Carrey could pull off that type of...
Sticking his fingers in the nose.
Yeah. Trying to suffocate it. Easy, buddy.
This is best for him. This is the best thing for him.
He's got that dry mouth.
Yeah.
And Renee Zellweger's just looking at him. Or his buddy that's also a cop is like, those kids are awfully brown. And he's making a sausage on the thing, and he starts like subconsciously cutting the sausage up. It's fucking great.
All of it, man, from top to bottom. Maybe it should be higher on my list because I love the movie, and I kind of put it down a little bit because like I think it's it's a bit of obvious with some of the jokes, but I think it's actually really inventive the way
it's one of the last times he went over the top.
Yes, but in a way that works.
Yeah.
And those 3 guys who play his kids, Anthony Anderson being one of them,
yeah,
they are hilarious, man. Their interactions about him and with each other, especially because they're like uber geniuses. Because obviously he's raising someone else's kids, for God's sakes.
Sure.
And they're uber geniuses, and the way they bash each other, making jokes about each other's intelligence and the things they're bashing each other about, brilliantly funny, man. But then, of course, you've got the Farrelly Brothers stuff with the chicken in the dude's asshole and things of that nature.
Yeah, that's
they
where
never
it gets,
walk away from it.
It's Farrelly, so it's kind of like, okay, fine.
Right.
But the rest of it is...
Dude, when he turns into Hank, oh my
He sees him in the rear view. He does his Clint Eastwood. What are you looking at, punk? He retired that because he didn't want to become known as an impressionist.
Right,
So he stopped doing all this. So it's just knowing that about him and then seeing it's like, you know what a great spot to dust it off.
Yep.
Have you ever seen him at Eastwood's AFI?
No.
Oh, dude.
I'll go home and watch that right now, dude.
It's the best.
Really? Okay.
Because he worked on Deadpool 2 or something.
Yeah. He did Deadpool. Deadpool.
Yeah,
right.
So
he was like a villain or criminal.
Yeah, but it was a tiny little.
Yeah, it was a really small part.
Really small. So his AFI was like, he basically does it from because he does a Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
And Eastwood, according to his retelling, at some point turned to the producer like, I don't know, Frank, what do you think? We should just turn the camera on and just let it go on him? And he condenses his character down into 2 seconds, and it's just only Carrey can crush this. It's fucking good.
I gotta see that, man.
Yeah,
but like everything, and Renee Zellweger, obviously they were dating during this time too, so the chemistry between them is great. And I mean, the Hank stuff, man, and the music they play, na 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 na, and then he becomes like, especially in the grocery store, the first time it happens, it's like he's trying to suppress a torrent of vomit coming out of his mouth. And he's like, all of it, the physical nature of it all. And this is right when people were starting to make fun of him for doing these kinds of things, but this was brilliant. This was absolutely brilliant, man.
We have a specific psychosis or some sort of problem.
Yeah.
And you need your medication, otherwise this split personality rears its head.
We got a fallopian fungus going on.
Yeah. What is it? Check out on aisle 3 grabs the fucking microphone. You know what wouldn't happen today is him breastfeeding.
Oh, God, with Shannon Weary?
That would be never filmed.
Yep. Nope.
Never filmed.
Nope. Yeah. Him driving the car through the barbershop, though, that was funny as shit. Lenny Clark's car through the driver's shop.
And I think this is where the movie where I got to, the Sling Blade, motherfucker, from Anthony Anderson. He makes a motion with the Sling Blade. And I used to drop that every once and again because I'd seen the movie so many times. The Sling Blade, motherfucker. So, yeah, that's my 6.
All right.
What do you got?
My 7 was Liar Liar, like we said. My number 6 is The Mask.
Okay.
So that was the pun from earlier.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, I love this movie, man. I do. And I'm starting to watch it more and more recently. Like, just for whatever reason, I really enjoy what Carrey does in the movie, and Cameron Diaz is. This is before Cameron Diaz became a superstar, right? So she's still soft around the edges. She's still womanly, man. Before she started losing all that weight and doing the Hollywood game, I like her here.
Yeah,
she's beautiful here.
The sexiest.
Yes.
Her career to me was in this movie.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And, I get it. In Hollywood, you have to kind of be a certain size to survive.
Whatever. And you grow.
And you grow. Right.
And then you get knocked up by a dude from Good Charlotte, Life has a weird way of working itself out. So
you've been on a band's kick lately every week on our show.
No, I just happened to see that on Twitter when she gave birth or something.
Yeah.
Gave birth to, and the father is Benji Madden or whatever the dude's name. And I was like,
DJ Benji Madden.
Good Charlotte?
Yeah.
Really? They're dating? Like, I know so little about that type. I don't follow any of the who's dating who.
Right.
Unless they are married or whatever. It's crazy huge news somehow.
Yeah.
I don't care. Other people, they love it. That's their jam.
It's their jam, man.
Yeah, so good for you. And I had no fucking clue. And I was like, really? Yeah. Wow. Like, good for both of them.
Yeah.
I hope the kid's healthy.
Yeah. But yeah, in this film, like from top to bottom, this is Jim Carrey, like kind of... And the thing is, this interesting thing about Jim Carrey, when you look at his past stuff, he was almost always playing a lead in the smaller stuff he was in before he blew up. And I mean before, like... Ace Ventura. Like, Once Bitten, he's the lead. There's a TV series he was in for like 12 episodes. He was the lead. So
Duck Factory?
Yeah, Duck Factory. So when they talk about like, he wrote a check to himself and blah, 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 he wasn't a guy that was struggling with 5 and under roles. He was a guy that people saw as a lead for their projects. Yeah. He just hadn't hit it big yet.
But who knows if you're ever going to get that shot
That's
again.
True. Very true.
And if you got that many reps early on and none of them were successful, that could be a black stain.
Right. Was it John Hamm, like 13 pilots that never went before Madman finally went?
Well, that's an extreme case.
Yeah.
How many dudes blow up like him after being in L.A. for this long?
That's true.
It's really rare as shit. Mm-hmm. Where you've been around and every casting director has seen you.
Yeah.
And there's always new ones, but...
Of course.
Yeah, he'd been kicking around town for a long time.
Right.
It's kind of crazy. And like, this dude couldn't get work? This guy.
Same thing Hemsworth. Hemsworth was about to go home before he got Thor. He was done.
But yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying. How many years in the game? It's nowhere near Ham.
He was sleeping
What was he, like mid to late 20s?
I don't know.
I would say mid-20s.
You think he was mid-20s when he got Thor? I think he was in his 30s, man. We got to look that up now.
First Thor was what, 2012, 2011? That'd be 7 years ago. So now you're saying he's in his almost 40s?
I think he's almost in his 40s.
I bet you he's 35 to 36.
All right. Let's see here. Chris Hemsworth. He is 36 years old.
There you go.
So he was born in 83. So the first Thor is when?
I don't know. I'm pulling up.
2011.
Yeah. So 8-9 years ago. So he was in his mid-20s.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, fair enough.
That was not so bad.
Okay, all right, I get it. You're right. All right.
Ham he was pushing almost 40.
Yeah, true. When Mad Men came
out. He finally got that.
Yeah, he killed that show too. He was great. But yeah, this film is so much fun seeing Jim do his thing, and he's very sweet in the film. It's a gear he can play, the kind of like sweet put upon guy. Mm-hmm. He does such a great job in the movie, and you have like obviously the Cameron Diaz stuff, but also. What's her name? Yeardley? What's her I forget the
Yeardley Smith?
No, the one that was married to John Ritter before he passed.
I know who you're talking about.
Yes, I forget her name.
Dude, how dare you forget about Richard Jeni?
Yeah. Oh, Richard Jeni.
How dare you? Platypus Man himself.
Bro, I don't know how many specials I used to watch of Richard Jeni.
Because Richard Jeni put out...
Yeah.
That dude put out quality and a lot of quality.
He was very funny, man.
Yeah, and then apparently mentally just in a dark place for almost all those years.
Yeah.
Did
he take his life?
He took his life. I think he hung himself.
That's a shame. Jesus, man. The stand-up game, it's a tough game, man.
I had a friend that hung himself a year ago.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
So,
shit, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't know. Wow.
Yeah, just, I don't know. He was bipolar.
Yeah.
And by friends, it's not like we were best friends.
Right.
We'd see each other and talk and, hey, how you been?
Of course.
Whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
And he loved baseball, so I'd ask him about baseball.
Right.
Yeah, it was surprising and not surprising.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he was suicidal, but at the same time, he did get 5150'd.
Oh, wow.
So.
Okay. Yeah. It's the game.
Yeah.
You hear about it a lot with a lot of comics. I mean, the Robin Williams thing is a different situation, but with a lot of comics.
Still depressed. Still hung himself.
True. But it was a Lyme disease situation, and maybe he didn't want to go further into that.
Who knows? He always seemed like he was carrying a sadness.
True. So it comes out certainly in his roles. When he's
not saying that type of thing is indicative of you will,
right?
But it wasn't so shocking to me when it happened.
Okay.
Whereas somebody,
But Jenny was shocking, I think, for me, because he always, You rarely saw him like on shows talking about whatever. He was always like doing his jokes.
Well, because he was almost always on there to sell. You know what I mean?
Right.
How many times did you get to be Robin Williams? And like, I don't care if you have anything to promote. Just come on and be yourself.
Right.
So we got to see a lot more of him.
Yeah. There were a number of those comics from that time, right? Like Louis Anderson was big at that time.
Still around. Still working.
Yeah, he's still kicking it though. Yeah, absolutely. Baskets. Everyone says that show is really, really good.
I like season 1. I need to go back.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's one of those smaller ones.
Yeah, and Catherine doesn't like it. So if I watch something solo, lately it hasn't been a lot of bands, and then tons of just YouTube.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I've seen the offensive structures of a few different teams broken down in like 20-minute videos and different actions they run in the NBA.
Yeah.
But it's also some woodworking projects and then some epoxy. I've done some stuff in the past with epoxy resins and whatnot, and it's turned out cool. And so long as you take your time, it's an easy project. So just what have other people done, and just kind of spark ideas.
Yeah.
And usually, I'll take like 2-3 ideas. I did it for one. I made a Christmas gift, so I found one on how to etch metal, and I found another one how to transfer images to different kind of surfaces.
Right.
And I found another one how to do this, that, and the other. And then I ended up taking these copper plates.
Yeah.
And I took like Catherine's mom's favorite song.
Right.
And transferred it onto that. And you use the etching material, and it etches around everything that you don't want it to.
Right.
So then you pull that off, and the raised audio file is what's left. And then that'll patina as the copper ages into this cool greenish. And then the rest will stay looking like copper because of the reaction to the acid.
Right.
Just like simple, easy project. It didn't cost us a whole lot. She's going to love it for the rest of her life.
Right.
Done and done. But that was, I just watch random shit, and then eventually you go, you don't make a cool gift? Can I do it? And then you try and learn one more thing.
You test yourself, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, all right,
yeah. I'm going to build myself a laser cutter.
Nice. Wow.
And then,
all right.
Well, I already got like 5-6 things. I mean, like I can do it and turn it and make that.
Right.
And then make this. And yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
I'm looking forward to that one, man. You might just get a laser, use the laser something to make you a gift.
Oh, I'm down with that. Just don't use it on me. I'm cool with that. Just don't
not a problem, but I will have to test drive a few different ideas that I have. So you might get a slightly inferior version. It'll still be nice.
Well, I'm down. I appreciate it very much.
But I got some ideas.
All right.
Anywho, so that was your 6?
That was my 6.
Well, yeah, why don't we take a quick break before we get to our top 5 and listen to this word from our sponsors. All right, welcome back.
Hey-o.
We hope you enjoyed those, and let's jump right back in.
Yeah.
5, I've got Man on the Moon.
Okay, that's my number 4.
Good timing.
All right, yeah. Like this film a lot.
I did. I didn't know if I'm not a Kaufman guy.
You're not a big fan of Kaufman. Okay.
I get it.
Right.
Type of thing. It doesn't make me laugh.
He's a performance artist comic.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I get it. Mm-hmm. And I understand because the 70s were also a weird time in that there's no way Steve Martin becomes famous today.
No.
But his ironic anti-comedy comedy resonated.
Yeah.
I guess people were just tired from the Vietnam War and going through with Tricky Dick and all the heaviness of this, societal shifts.
Yeah.
For equal rights through the 60s.
Right.
And they were just like, you know what? I want something stupid and goofy. And Man on the Moon and Andy Kaufman fit that to a T.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was eccentric. And I still need to see the documentary about Carrey.
Oh, yeah. This is great.
I heard it's awesome.
It's insane, man.
Yeah. I knew he stayed in character the whole time. And
the conversation with him and Milos Forman that they have in the documentary, you're just like blown away that a director would be willing to put up with that from Carrey just to get that performance. But that's him being in sacrifice of the piece. Do you know what I'm saying? The director is sacrificing himself to play out these scenarios that Carrey is presenting to him as Andy Kaufman or as Tony Clifton. Just genius, man.
I've seen Zamuda do Clifton.
Oh.
Numerous times. He did like a residency, so to speak, at the store.
Oh, shit.
A random time. So he was hanging out. So eventually you just kind of interacted with Clifton in random little shit. And then I watched the show a few times and was like, I wonder if this is the same show. My guess is he hasn't put any thought into this, really.
Right.
Just kind of churning out exactly what they did, maybe make a couple tweaks.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is probably pretty close to what Andy used to do. It's so strange.
Yeah.
It's a weird I love one joke. I can't remember if it's in the movie or not, but I know there's a clip of it you can find on YouTube where he was in the special that he got for signing on for Taxi or whatever, the negotiation. He made fun of talk shows, specifically Carson, and he made his seat obviously much higher. So he's looking down at, because now it's an untold thing. They all lift their seat. Cowherd now is the weirdest. I never really watch his show.
It's like you're in a pit to be his guest.
And you're like looking up, and then the producer on the right. I don't know. It's such a strange way to set up the room.
If I was on the Cowherd show, if I ever got to be, I'd like never happened, but like I would sit on the top of the couch just to fuck with him. That would be the whole time.
So we're like eye level.
Yeah. If I have that kind of clout, I would do it in a heartbeat. Just to fuck with him.
That's a great little. I love that joke. And I like the presentation of the Mighty Mouse. Here I come to save the day. But I liked it once.
Right.
Just the idea that this was so groundbreaking. I didn't live through it, so I've seen it, but pop culture has progressed beyond. So the shocking nature of like, can you believe they did this on NBC?
Right.
Like this was on TV. Yeah. This is so stupid. This is awesome. Because you didn't do that shit.
Right.
It was all like, this is brought to you by Chesterfields. I mean, granted, that was 10 years, probably 15 years after that stopped, but all those people that grew up that created SNL, TV to them was that wholesome, over-the-top, Leave It to Beaver type of bullshit.
Yeah. Well, what I enjoyed about it, too, well, I mean, looking at the movie, what I enjoyed so much is, like, this is Carrey as, I don't know, this is Carrey, like, really as an actor. Like, exploring the character and the levels of this guy and the complexity of this guy and bringing him forward in the situations that he finds himself in throughout the movie. And then you see Carrey grow, or Andy Kaufman grow, from what he is at the beginning to what he ends up at the end, you know? And like that scene where in the cancer thing and he sees
that it's bullshit.
Yeah, it's all bullshit. And he was just like, oh, this is perfect. The irony of that is so perfect because that's what I was doing my whole life as a comedian, is pulling that same bullshit.
Danny DeVito's really great in it too.
He's heartbreaking in this movie, man.
And it's really cool because he was on Taxi with him. So to come back and play his manager, and he has an understanding of who this guy was. And I assume, honestly, given the longevity of his career, they were probably friends.
Oh, yeah.
Because it seems like DeVito's gotten along with generations of various people now.
It's amazing to me, that guy. What an incredible story.
What a great career.
Right?
What a great career. And
any number of times it could have ended.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just a unique performer. And his stature alone.
Yeah.
But the visual, like what he brings, he can do the super serious.
Right.
And you feel it. Like, what's that one kid's movie that was a generation too young for us, but other people just love it?
Matilda? Yeah.
Didn't have the resonance with me, but I know if I was younger, I would have loved the living shit out of that.
A lot of people love that.
And he directed that as well.
Yep.
Hell of a career, but now with It's Always Sunny, just reintroducing him to a huge new generation of people.
Mind-blowing, man.
Yeah.
I'll still go back occasionally on TV Land and watch Taxi episodes. That sitcom is great.
Yeah, he's probably my favorite part.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's a hell of a statement because nobody on that show didn't become famous.
Exactly.
Everybody. Tony Danza, Marilu Henner, Judd Hirsch, Christopher Lloyd, Andy Kaufman, Carol Kane. Everybody on that fucking show was a heavy hitter down the road or at that time.
Yeah.
You know?
The one dude that was in Grease.
Yeah, Jeff Conway, yes.
Jeff Conway.
Yes. Everybody became a name off that show. It's the kind of that rare ensemble sitcom.
There was only 3 channels. You know? And it was a hit.
That's a good point.
There's only 3 channels.
Fair point. But like nobody in Night Court became a big hit other than Larry.
Well, but that was later that we had cable. Night Court was on when I was a kid.
Right.
And I had cable.
Okay.
So there's fewer options.
Yeah.
The 3-channel world had ceased to exist by the time I started watching TV, I think.
Well, yes, it had, but they weren't putting sitcoms on HBO. They weren't like Dream On was much later. So it was like.
But you still had your USAs running random shit. And you had so there was other.
Well, like nobody in the Cosby Show. Well, I guess, yeah, that's a good point. Good point. All right. Maybe I'll have to take a little deeper dive into this. Oh, WKRP in Cincinnati. Nobody had it coming out of there. It was like a big old hit. Tim Reed is the only one that's still somewhat working, but that was a massive ensemble. Oh, Laurie Anderson, too, yeah.
Lonnie
Lonnie Anderson. Right. Laurie Anderson's a performance singer. That's right.
I would imagine most people would know her as Burt Reynolds' wife.
Probably. Yeah.
Or it'd be the dude that played the cool guy that was on Head of the Class after that.
Yeah, Howard Hessman.
There you go.
Yeah. It was my.
Or the Maytag guy.
Oh, yeah, Gordon Jump. Yes. God, how do I have these still fucking names in my
See, you know them.
Jesus Christ.
That show was on when I was really little, so I only have vague. I know the turkey drop.
Oh, my God, that's the best. The Thanksgiving episode of WKRP in Cincinnati. If you guys haven't seen that episode, watch that episode. Just one line. I thought turkeys could fly. I'll just let it be at that. Go watch that. Anyway, all right, where are we at?
So that was my 5-year 4. What's your 5?
Ace Ventura.
It's a slight punt.
Okay, all right. So what's your number 3?
Oh, never mind then. That's right too, Mike. I apologize because I forgot what you just done your 4.
Yeah.
Is Ace Ventura.
Okay.
It's fantastic. Right. Carrey got off.
Wait. Did we do your 4? Sorry, my bad.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, what is your 4? Sorry about that. I jumped because my 4.
Honestly, I already knew it's a punt. Eternal Sunshine.
Oh, yeah, it's a punt. All right, cool. Yeah. Cool.
I knew where you're going to put it.
Yeah.
The other 3 above it, I know I'm going to watch 7 billion times more.
That's fair.
It's totally nothing fair. Against that movie. So Ace Ventura at my 3.
At your 3.
I flat out love Jim Carrey in Living Color.
Yeah.
So I was so excited when he was finally going to be making a movie.
Right.
Like ridiculously excited. Him and Damon Wayans, and then some things that David Allen Greer did and Tommy Davidson did.
Oh, yeah.
In Living Color. Mm-hmm. Between those two was mostly the 2 guys with the business cards. You know I am fresh out. Bam! The other one hits him. I loved that. Flat out. But to me, they were almost always the best supporting part in a Wayans or Jim Carrey. Those
right.
2 were my favorites, hands down. You had Homie the Clown, but I still thought Wayans was like crushing it. And Jim Carrey was the alpha, and Wayans was like nipping at his heels. I love those 2 on that show.
Fireman Bill? Oh, my God.
Yeah, just the burnt face. He's looking like a burnt victim. Let me tell you something. You do a bad Rocky. And then Keenan did Mike Tyson, which was kind of ballsy.
He was.
Because Tyson, by that point, knew was a little unhinged.
Yeah.
So there's a chance you could get socked in the mouth for this.
Right.
So when Ace Ventura came out, like me and I would imagine most of my friends, but I remember being a distinct favorite of me and a few of my friends in particular, where we watch it all the effing time.
Yeah, man.
Just loved it.
And it's a funny movie, man.
It is.
I know some people nowadays are like, oh, the trans thing is whatever, but it's like that was a movie that fits within the movie of what they're creating.
It is.
If you want to be offended by it, I'm not going to stop you from being offended
I can't
or say
tell
you're
you.
wrong. But like for me, it doesn't bother me.
Well, I can't tell you whether or not it's offensive to you.
Right.
But in no way was it meant to be offensive to you.
I don't take it as a negative towards trans people.
No, they didn't set about going, you know who's lesser than me? Them.
Yeah,
Let's make them the punchline of this movie.
Right.
It was just a way to have a twist to where you could legitimately get this weird little plot to how does this kicker end up going disguised and get away with all these stupid things.
Exactly.
It's a nice little twist, especially when he turns around. And you just see it. You can practically see veins. And you're like, oh, my God. And all the dudes start going, oh, because now it just implies she's made out with all of them. Not had sex, just at the very least, like Jim Carrey,
at least,
made out with all of them.
Oh, man.
And that's how perhaps, he or she, however, that character identifies, has gotten to this position where no one's questioning.
Carrey's reaction, there's so many great moments in the film when he's doing the door shutting up and all of that. I mean, he's actually a damn good detective. That's the thing about the film. He wasn't played as an idiot. He's legitimately a damn good detective.
His methods are just
very unusual, and he's got a great love of animals. So it's a smart approach to this kind of like comedy,
Like, I think you could have made a more realistic version if he doesn't go into the Captain Kirk. Like, Stardate.
Right.
And just because he does a good enough.
Yeah.
If you took out those aspects of it, but because it's his first, I think they were just throwing as many jokes, as many stupid things as they could do.
As they could do with it. Yeah.
And that one I was never like, I like Star Trek, but not to the degree that you do and a bunch of other people do. Mm-hmm. So it's like doing a Kirk, like, I don't care. I've seen a lot of Kirks. That's fine.
Yeah.
But when he walks out of the bathroom after he's tangled with the great white, and he slaps his pocket and it shoots that water, woo! Do not go in there, and just waving his hand, just great.
Even the confrontation with the way he screams with his mouth before he falls into the tank,
as he's stalking to get over there, and he's doing these stupid ninja-like moves, so no one will detect him. So dumb.
It's genius,
Well,
man.
why don't you cry about it? Saddlebags? It's a Courtney Cox.
He's what I guess Kudrow's the last one he hasn't done a film with from the Friends cast.
Yeah, there you go.
Female cast at least. But yeah, all the way throughout, just very, very funny stuff. And Tone Loc's even decent in the film. And
as a sergeant or whatever that.
Right.
Detective.
And then everything that happens, like Marino, the whole nine is just fucking hilarious from top to bottom, man.
Yeah, filming an Isotoners commercial.
Yeah.
Because that was the only product I knew that he...
Yeah.
I'm sure he had car dealerships down there, and I'm sure he had all the local shit.
Right.
But on a national level, I just remember him from Isotoner commercials.
Me too. All right, so that was your 3?
That's my 3.
My 3 is The Truman Show.
Yeah, not going to make my list.
Wow, really?
That was the one I brought up earlier. I saw it, and I walked out going, no, thank you.
Wow.
It's fine. I totally understand what you're all saying.
Right.
I don't care if I ever see that again.
That's a shock to me. Okay.
I know. Where I like The Majestic more than I like Truman Show.
Okay. I like The Majestic. It was tough to cut The Majestic.
It's schmaltzy as shit.
It is.
I mean, they're going for every Disney-like gut punch to try and get you at the end when he's in that courtroom scene.
Yeah.
And I still didn't hate it.
Wow. Okay.
But Truman Show, just like, I don't know, I get it.
Right.
It wasn't my... Honestly, if we're going to do this, I like Ed TV. I will watch Ed TV more than I watch this.
Okay. All right. Well, at the risk of, risking your ire...
No,
I like the film.
Am alone.
Okay. I like the film a lot. I think he's fantastic in the movie, and I think we don't have Eternal Sunshine if he doesn't do this movie. I think if he doesn't find a way to work out his dramatic chops in this movie, we don't get Eternal Sunshine. He's incredibly interesting in the film, and it's a human. Like, this is drama. This is a drama film. Yes, are there comedic moments? Sure. No. Good afternoon, good luck, good evening, good night, that kind of stuff. Yes, but overall, this is about a guy trying to break free from this existence that he didn't know he was born into.
Yeah.
So the overall message, this idea of like, you can choose your life, you can choose your own ending, you can find your way out. You may just have to fight through so many things to get there, and you may have to end certain relationships so that you can get there. And so the overall message and the story of the film, I think, is powerful as well. Okay. Father to son, creator to thing he created. I mean, it works as a God story as well, with Ed Harris essentially playing God, and Carrey being his creation and breaking out. It's Garden of Eden shit. It's all throughout the movie, and so I think and Natasha McElhone, who plays the woman who has a thing for him and is on the outside, and it's a sweet little romance that they're doing without ever sharing, like legitimately sharing the screen together, other than a couple of scenes when she's breaking out or trying to get him to leave. And so, yeah,
there's a great little detail in there. I think it's when he opens the medicine chest or medicine cabinet in his bathroom. There are supplements for vitamin D because he's not actually getting the sun, and your body needs vitamin D to stay healthy. It just flat out has to have it. We grew up with the sun, so it's a supplement that he's got in there because there's deficiency, obviously, because that shit ain't real. I didn't know that until it's something I saw online and it always stuck with me. It's like, oh, that's cool.
Oh, interesting.
But I won't go back to rewatch. I'm good.
Right. Fair enough. I enjoy the hell out of it, and I think it's a fantastic performance from him, but I totally respect you not liking it. All right. What's your number 2?
2 is the only thing better than Ace Ventura is Ace Ventura 2.
Oh, my God. At 2? At 2? You're going to ruin our list? All right, fine. Go ahead.
It's pure rewatchability. At this point, I am more apt to watch 2 than I am 1.
All right.
Because the absurdity is so solely focused on him.
Yeah.
There is no more Courtney Cox to ground him.
Yeah.
It's that English actor, but it's Carrey stealing.
Yeah.
It's just him. It's purely him.
Right.
I love the stupid Tibetan monk setup. To where you're like, I almost reached enlightenment. Here, have mine. That took you 30 years. You just attained it. The slinky from the top. The stupidity, the comparing pain from the two spears.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Davidson coming out, and he's like, this little guy, you got to be afraid of him, and he just gets destroyed by him. It's over and over and over again because it's that character fully unthrottled.
Oh, yeah.
Or full throttled, rather, ungoverned. That's why I like it even more. You know what I loved about the first one is just the stupidity of this. I didn't care. The Kirk was fine, but everything else to me was awesome.
Yeah.
And this one, it's just the stupidity of, oh, you chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you. And I just, he's making up the turbulence in the car, and it's a perfectly smooth ride. The Leica glove where he flips the over. I can just recount the whole movie.
Yeah.
It to me is that on 11, and I love it for that fact.
Right.
Thank you, Dark Continent. Good night. So stupid. It's great.
I think I like the spear scene that you mentioned, and I like him wearing that dude like his Monopoly guy, which was
do not pass go. Do not collect $200. What about when he's doing the spit wads and the guy that's doing the test of manhood and he's got to stay on the really top pole?
Yeah, I can't do that.
And you just don't see it for a little while.
It's a little too far for me.
Them kissing. It's the most awkward.
Yeah.
Bumblebee tuna. The huge loogie. I love that. That's great. That's gross out humor because I don't see him spitting it.
No.
I just see the buildup as he's conjuring this huge loogie.
Yeah.
And then the aftermath.
Yeah.
Perfect. That works to me. Anyway, so what do you got at 2?
2 is Dumb and Dumber, which is probably your 1. Yeah. All right. It's difficult. I was looking once. I got number 1 easy. That was easy for me. Number 1.
Yeah, I knew you were number 1.
Yeah, but get to number 2, and I was like, what do I really put here at 2? What is the best of the rest of his stuff? And I really struggled to because I knew once I got 2, everything would fall into place.
Okay.
But 2 is a statement. What is the best Jim Carrey film besides Eternal Sunshine for me? What is the best Jim? What's the funniest? What's the most complete performance?
You could amend that statement to just what's the best Jim Carrey movie, and it's number 1, Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And on our combined list,
I know what you did. You did it on purpose. I know.
It's not.
You rigged the list.
I have seen all 3 of those movies above. I've seen Eternal Sunshine, I think, 3 times now, maybe 4.
Well, it's not about. For me, it's not about rewatchability. The rewatchability is convenient for you for certain things.
No. When I have rewatched these so many times, I'm sorry, you're going to lose.
Well, I would put Schindler's List in the top 3 of Spielberg, but I've seen it maybe once or twice.
Okay, I don't know why you had to bring in the Holocaust.
No, I'm not.
How is that equivalent to Eternal Sunshine?
Someone's always got to bring up the Nazis.
How is one of the world's greatest genocides equivalent to Eternal Sunshine?
I'm just saying that it's not a movie I go back to a lot.
But that one's
I can
way
still
worse.
Objectively recognize that it's a fantastic film.
That one's way worse. Find me another sorrowful rom-com, and then I'll talk to you.
Oh, that's a good point. Sorrowful. I don't know. Punch Drunk Love is great.
Okay. How many times are you going to put that? You kind of have to with Sandler's.
I do. I own it, and I watch it. I watch it every few months.
You kind of have to.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have near the career of a Spielberg or a Jim Carrey, at least a number of
those kinds of
ventures into that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Carrey's done
Uncut Gems was good.
It was good.
Yeah. But anyway, Dumb and Dumber, him and Jeff Daniels, just a great chemistry and
the best.
It's a ridiculous film that should not work as well as it does, but damn if it doesn't. From beginning to end, these 2 dudes are absolute fucking morons, but they're sweet. They can't help themselves.
They're well-intentioned.
Yeah, they're well-intentioned in spite of themselves. Mm-hmm. They're just complete and utter idiots, but it totally works because, I mean, the stupid stuff they get into, you're just like, why? And yet it totally works. I mean, the scene where they're trying to destroy each other in their tuxes when they're walking into the...
with the canes?
Oh, my God.
Well, because they're childish and they're just... Yeah. They got a new toy and they want to play with their toy.
And they're just so oblivious about where they're playing with their toy.
Well, and what an adult is and supposed to do in this moment.
Yeah.
They walk in and everybody's in black tie and they have their garish outfits. What are you going to do over here? I'm just going to be sitting over here sending out the vibe. He's sticking his ass out. Over and over again. That's an IOU for a Lamborghini. You might want to hold on to that. Harry, you are a terrible shot. Well, so you're saying I got a chance?
Yeah.
It's now part of pop culture.
Yeah.
It's a 1 in a million. So you're saying I got a chance.
Samsonite, too. Everyone says that.
Yeah, swammy, Samsonite. I do. Samsonite, I was way off. Harry, your hands are freezing.
I like when he texts the old lady. I say this all the time. Don't you go dying on me now. It's just as he walks away.
Well, he starts it off being like, in essence, unlike most people, like, I don't feel that the old are a waste of space type of thing. Don't you go dying on me. She just fucks him right over.
Yeah. It's always weird when you go back to the 90s. You find weird people in films. Like Karen Duffy was a MTV VJ, right? What is she doing in this movie?
I don't know where she's in it. She's fine. She's actually pretty good.
That's what I'm saying. You got Tone Loc and Ace Ventura. It's weird, the people who pop up
that
in
makes more sense because it's an artist making the shift over. VJ
Yeah.
Find me another.
Well, usually they're trying to be actors and they become BJs, I guess. Yeah.
I could see maybe like Dave Holmes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But outside of that, I struggle.
Yeah. Matt Pinfield wouldn't.
No.
Certainly not of the 80s.
Yeah, Kurt Loder, never.
Yeah, no. And Loder was like, yeah.
He was like a rock journalist and stayed being a rock journalist afterwards.
He's still around.
I saw a clip of him.
Yeah.
Like 6 months ago, and I was like, oh, shit, Kurt Loder. I haven't thought about you in forever, man.
Who was the other guy? The other guy that was the movie reporter for them, Chris something?
I know you're talking about. I can visualize him.
He's got the teeth or whatever. Yeah, he showed up in those CNN shows about the 80s or the 90s and stuff. I forget what his name is.
Wasn't it Chris O something?
Yeah, maybe.
Wasn't
Chris
O'Donnell?
I don't know. But yeah, he was like worked for Premiere and shit like that. I just can't remember.
He's gone off to many other gigs since then. He's been around.
But anyway, yeah, this film just top to bottom, just crazy, stupid fun, and has no business working. But when you look at it,
doesn't.
You can't
it is
deny.
Utterly stupid.
Yeah,
but they never deviate from that.
Right.
So the characters always say stupid, even at the very end when the Hawaiian Tropics or whatever the oil company is stops them and is like, "Hey, do you want to be our?" We're looking for two guys. Be like, "Oh, you're in luck. A town is 3 miles that way." It's like, thank God we were here to tell you guys about that. And that was ad-libbed.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the script.
Oh, how funny.
But that's perfect for the character. They're so oblivious and stupid.
Yeah.
Be like, you are in luck. There's a town. Harry went and did something totally stupid, stupid, and totally redeemed yourself. And he gets 73 miles to the gallon on this hog. He fluffs his little fringed gloves out.
Yeah.
Just the movie's perfect to me over and over and over. All right, so you're one.
Yeah, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, man. This is just the best performance of Jim Carrey's career, in my opinion.
Without a doubt. And it's for his dramas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And it was so ironic. I found myself putting more of his dramas in the top 5 than I did his comedies. But for whatever reason, I just appreciate him more when he does this kind of stuff because I think he doesn't get recognized enough for it. And he really is note perfect when he fully commits to these kind of dramatic roles. Yeah. And here especially, man, I mean, he is so good in this role from beginning to end. He's put upon, then you see him like traveling through this relationship in reverse and the anger and the frustration and the love. And it's just brilliant what he's able to bring. And he's going toe to toe with Kate Winslet, one of the best actresses working today. And they still find the tender moments amidst the bitterness and the anger and the frustration. Mm-hmm. And the way Gondry shoots the film is incredible as well to put you in the mood of what a relationship is like when it's ended, right? And even the end, you're just like...
The Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, yeah, that stuff too.
It's a great little tie-in to...
Yeah.
Wow, is it fate?
Right.
That's ultimately drawing you in. There's something that, even if your mind is wiped... You're somehow coupled to this individual.
Are you always going to be attracted to that person?
Are you, quantumly entangled? You're always in each other's orbit.
That's what I found so fascinating about the movie.
It's a hell of an idea.
Yeah.
What a great little premise of eradicating someone from your memory. Mm-hmm. And
but how many times do we go back to the same person, right? When we're younger or whatever, and we're working shit out, and we just keep coming back.
I only do that once ever.
Really?
Yeah, we went back and we tried it again.
Yeah.
And it just... obviously didn't work.
Wow. Yeah, okay.
No.
I know for me at least, 3 or 4 times I would get with somebody, then we just fight or couldn't make it work. It would stop and then, but you don't stop communicating and then all of a sudden you're back together again. It was so strange, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, my ex-girlfriend, we broke up, didn't get back together for a year, and then randomly got back together again. And of course, we figured out it doesn't work at all.
Yeah.
But at the time, you know what I'm saying? It was like, well, why are we both drawn back to this situation if we're not 100% happy? But for some reason, you just find yourself chemically drawn to that person for that time.
Or you feel like maybe you understand who they are now.
Yeah, better.
So you can work towards something.
Yeah. But overall, man, I'm just incredible performance from him, and he should have been nominated for an Oscar. Fuck, he might have won even. You could argue that.
I would definitely say for this.
Yeah.
It's a powerful performance from both of them.
Yeah.
But especially him he doesn't want to lose these memories.
Right. Once he realizes what this means, right? Because in that moment, you're like, I don't want to feel pain anymore. Take it away from me. And I was like, well, okay, but this is the exchange. And once he starts to see the price he has to pay, that the sweet moments have to be gone as well, that's when everything sparks within him to fight for those memories. And at the end, when they have that conversation in the hallway, I think it's one of the most honest conversations. And I'm one of those people that thinks they don't work out. They don't work out. But you love the fact that they're willing to try.
Yeah. You know? Well, I mean, they're obviously are success stories of people that on the second go around.
Yeah.
Or people that get married twice.
Right.
And the second time it works out.
It just clicked.
Yeah, because you grew up.
Yep.
And now accept them for who they are, whatever the case is, worked on the issues between the two of them or within yourself.
Right.
And came to this at a much more mature, place.
Yeah.
I would take the heartache over erasing it.
Yeah. That's part of it. It's hard to grow, too.
Yeah. There's no way to progress and learn from those mistakes and understand what went wrong and how to stop yourself from, going through that again.
Yeah.
If you erase it, you're just doomed to fail.
Good point. All right. That's our separate lists for the top 10 Jim Carrey films. We're going to put it together here into one main list. And let's get it going. I suppose Dumb and Dumber's one?
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber's. So it's 1-4 on Eternal and 3-4 on Ventura? So Eternal makes it next?
No, my 5 is Ventura for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think anything beats 1-4.
Right. You don't even have my 3, which is Truman Show. So
yeah, you don't have my 2.
Right.
So I would say Ace Ventura, then Man on the Moon.
Okay. And then, do you want to put your 2 up then and my 3 after that? Or what do you want to do?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Then we both have Liar, Liar, Mask.
Yes. And Me, Myself, and Irene.
And Me, Myself would go next.
Okay.
Because I don't think we have anything else commonality higher. Mm-hmm. Where do you have Liar, Liar?
7. And I have The Mask at 6.
9. So then The Mask, then Liar, Liar.
Okay.
And then we got one left. I got Lemony Snicket at 7.
Okay, that's it. Because Yes Man is my last one. And that's at 8.
All right, there we go.
All right, boom. Let's do this thing. The top 10 Jim Carrey movies, yeah. All right, I'm going to try to bang where I can. At number 10.
Lemony Snicket in a series of unfortunate events.
At number 9.
Liar, Liar.
At number 8.
The Mask. No worries.
At number 7.
Me, Myself, and Irene.
At number 6.
The Truman Show.
At number 5.
Ace Ventura 2.
At number 4.
Man on the Moon.
At number 3.
Ace Ventura.
At number 2.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
And our number 1 Jim Carrey film is
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. All right.
It's a good show.
Yes.
As per usual, our thanks to everybody that helps make this show a reality.
Oh, yeah.
To Chris Alexakos for helping us with the relist and the Boss Hog. Once a month we do a patrons topic, and we normally do that at the end of the month, and he helps us with all that. And
right.
Joe Ibarra and Mike Shea helping us with the production side, and Kristen Smith and Matthew Housel on the social media. To all 5 of you, we can't thank you enough. There is no Topic Thunder this week because by the time we're recording this, we didn't get enough in the hopper.
Right.
So if you are a Patreon there, you know what the email address is. Hit us up. Let us know at our email account for that show. And we're working on a new show idea.
Yeah.
We can't roll it out this month, but just because certain wheels are in motion.
Yep.
But next month, look for it. It'll be at the relist level. We're thinking about maybe changing out one of the relists and give you guys something new and see if you like that. And vary it up a little bit. And I think that's all we're working on right now.
Yeah.
London, May 2nd, kingsplace.co.uk, 30 pounds. Come out. It's going to be a shitload of fun. I can't wait to see you there. You can follow me anywhere at Matt Knost, MattkNost.
Yeah, you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. And don't forget to go to my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to that, www.youtube.com/ John Rocha says. Go and sign up there. A lot of content already over the last few days. Way more content than I had the previous 2 weeks. So just figuring out my groove in that thing. So come and subscribe to it, and I guarantee you'll enjoy the content there.
Oh, and before I forget, for those that are interested, I got another podcast that started. It's called Embrace the Hate. It's me and a buddy of mine who's a comic. You might have seen him on Comedy Central. You can look it up. His name's Rick Ingram. But just search Embrace the Hate, and it should be up. It went up yesterday, so hope you enjoy, and hopefully you don't get too offended.
Well,
that's all they got.
There you go. I like it. All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of the Top 10 Show. We love you guys so much, and a lot of stuff coming up soon. We'll let you know all about it in time. Anything else?
Nope. That's it for us at the Top 10 this week. Adios.